My wife said, I signed over your inheritance to my brother. Family helps family. I said, how thoughtful. Then I played her brother's voicemail at Thanksgiving dinner. He'd been laughing about scamming his idiot sister for years. I, 34 male, discovered my wife Jolene's 32 little financial maneuver 3 weeks before Thanksgiving. My grandmother had passed in September, leaving me $85,000. Not life-changing money, but enough to pay off our remaining student loans and start that renovation we'd been planning for years. Jolene had been managing the paperwork since I was traveling for work during the estate settlement. She had power of attorney for specifically this purpose. I trusted her completely, after 7 years of marriage. I came home from a business trip to find her brother Vaughn's truck in our driveway. They were in the kitchen, champagne glasses out. Babe, perfect timing. Jolene beamed. We're celebrating. What's the occasion? Vaughn stood up, all 6'3" of him, grinning like he'd won the lottery. Your wife just saved my business, man. True family loyalty. Something cold settled in my stomach. How'd she do that? Jolene touched my arm. The inheritance came through last week. Vaughn's construction company was about to go under. They were going to foreclose on his house, Reed. His kids would have been homeless. So I signed it over to him. Family helps family, right? I stood there, processing. My inheritance, my grandmother's money, signed over. All of it? My voice came out steady somehow. Well, yeah, he needed $80,000 to clear the debts. We kept $5 for us. How thoughtful, I said. Vaughn slapped my shoulder. Knew you'd understand, bro. Jolene said you're good people. Hey, I'll pay you back when the company recovers. Promise. They kept talking, but I'd stopped listening. I excused myself, went to my office, and pulled up our banking. Sure enough, $85,000 had been deposited and immediately wire transferred to Vaughn's account. The paperwork was all there, Jolene's signature on everything. That night, after Vaughn left, I asked Jolene one question. Did you think about asking me first? She actually looked confused. Why would I need to? We're married. What's yours is mine. And Vaughn's family. You wouldn't have let him lose everything, right? That wasn't your call to make. God, don't be selfish. It's just money. We're doing fine. I didn't argue, just nodded and went to bed. But here's the thing about Vaughn. I'd never liked him. 7 years of watching him borrow money from Jolene, showing up with sob stories. His business was always about to turn the corner. His kids were always one step from disaster. But somehow he always had a new truck, always took vacations, always had the latest everything. So I did some digging. Update 1, y'all were right. The digging paid off in ways I didn't expect. First, I hired a PI. Cost me $2,000 but worth every penny. Vaughn's construction company, it wasn't about to go under. It was actually doing pretty well. He'd landed 2 major contracts last month. The foreclosure story? Complete BS. He owned his house outright, inherited it from his wife's parents 3 years ago. But the real gold came from an unexpected source. Vaughn's ex-business partner, Donnie, who he'd screwed over last year. I bought Donnie a beer and just listened. Man's been pulling this scam on Jolene for years, Donnie said after his 3rd beer. Laughs about it all the time. Calls her his personal ATM. You should hear the things he says. Like what? Like how she's too stupid to realize he's got money. How she believes every sob story. He literally has a notebook where he tracks what he's gotten from her, treats it like a game. Would you be willing to state that on record? After what he did to me, absolutely. But Donnie had something even better. Voicemails. Vaughn drunk dialing him, bragging about his latest score from his idiot sister. The best one was from just last month. Donnie, bro, you're not gonna believe this. Jolene's husband's grandma kicked it. Left him like 80 Ks. I'm about to be paid. Already planted the foreclosure story. My dumb sister's gonna hand it all over. She actually thinks I'm broke. Woman's seen my house, seen my truck, and still believes I'm struggling. It's like taking candy from a retarded baby. Easiest money I've ever made. Donnie forwarded me everything. 18 voicemails over 2 years. Each one worse than the last. Meanwhile, Jolene was planning Thanksgiving. Big family gathering at our house. Vaughn would be there with his wife and kids. Her parents. The whole circus. You sure you're okay with hosting? She asked. You've been weird since the inheritance thing. I'm fine. Actually, I want to make a toast this year. Really? You hate public speaking. This is important. She kissed my cheek. You're the best. And hey, Vaughn said he might have some cash to start paying us back by Christmas. How thoughtful of him. Update 2. The entitlement escalated fast once Jolene realized I wasn't my usual accommodating self. First, she tried love bombing, cooked my favorite meals, initiated intimacy every night, kept telling me how amazing I was for supporting family. But when I stayed distant, she switched tactics. You're being childish about the money, she said Tuesday night. Vaughn already told everyone how generous we were. You're gonna make me look bad if you keep pouting. I'm not pouting. Then why won't you talk to him? He's called 3 times. I'm busy. With what? Your little investigation? Yeah, I know you hired someone to look into my brother. That's psychotic, Reed. Is it? Or is finding out the truth just inconvenient for you? She exploded. He's family. What is wrong with you? When we got married, my family became your family. And my inheritance became his, apparently. It was the right thing to do. According to who? She grabbed her pillow. I'm sleeping in the guest room until you get over yourself. But the real entitlement showed Wednesday. I came home to find she'd invited Vaughn over. They were in my office, going through my grandmother's photos. What are you doing? Vaughn looked up casually. Joe said there might be more assets, jewelry and stuff. Thought we should document it for the estate. The estate's settled. Yeah, but sometimes things pop up later. He held up my grandmother's photo album. Nice old lady. Bet she had some valuable stuff hidden away. The absolute balls on this man. He was literally treasure hunting through my dead grandmother's memories. Get out. Reed, come on, Jolene started. Get out. Vaughn stood slowly smirking. Chill, bro. Just trying to help you find assets you might have missed. So you can steal those too? His face darkened. Watch yourself. I'd hate for this to affect our family dynamics, especially with the holidays coming up. After he left, Jolene went nuclear. You just humiliated me. He was trying to help. Help himself to more of my money? It's not just your money, we're married. And you know what? If you can't appreciate family, maybe we shouldn't be. Maybe we shouldn't. She stormed off, but not before sending a group text to her entire family about how I was being controlling about money and treating Vaughn like a criminal. Her mom called within minutes, screeching about how I was tearing the family apart. Her dad texted, very disappointed in you, son. Even Vaughn's wife Celia chimed in. Reed, whatever issues you have, don't punish the children by creating family drama. The narrative was set. I was the villain who wouldn't help family. Perfect. Update 3. Thanksgiving arrived. Jolene had been staying with her parents but came back that morning to prep. Silent treatment, but she had appearances to maintain. 23 people showed up. Vaughn arrived in a brand new truck. Not even subtle. He made a big show of hugging me. No hard feelings, right, bro? Family's family. Absolutely, I said. No hard feelings. Dinner was perfect. Jolene's mom Joyce kept making passive-aggressive comments about family loyalty and remembering what matters. Her dad Eugene just glared at me. Vaughn told the whole table about his business struggles and how blessed he was to have a sister like Jolene. Almost lost everything, he said, fake tearing up. Kids would have been on the street. But Joe came through. That's what real family does. Everyone was looking at me like I was Satan for not being grateful enough. Then dessert came out, and I stood up. Before we continue, I'd like to make a toast. Jolene looked surprised but pleased. Finally, I was playing along. This year, I'm thankful for truth, I began. For clarity, for learning who people really are. Vaughn raised his glass, grinning. I'm thankful for technology. For voicemails that reveal character, for recordings that capture honesty. His grin faltered slightly. But mostly, I'm thankful for Donnie Fletcher, Vaughn's former business partner. Vaughn's face went white. See, Donnie shared some interesting voicemails with me. Vaughn, you remember calling him last month, after you heard about my grandmother passing? I don't know what year. I pulled out my phone, connected it to our Bluetooth speaker. Let me refresh your memory. I hit play. Vaughn's drunk voice filled the room. Donnie, bro, you're not gonna believe this. Jolene's husband's grandma kicked it. Left him like $80K. I'm about to be paid. Already planted the foreclosure story. My dumb sister's gonna hand it all over. She actually thinks I'm broke. Woman's seen my house, seen my truck, and still believes I'm struggling. It's like taking candy from a retarded baby. Easiest money I've ever made. The room went silent. Jolene's face was frozen, mouth open. That's not. Vaughn stammered. Wait, there's more. I played the next one. Dude, my sister is literally the stupidest person alive. Gave me 12 grand last year for medical bills. I used it for that Cabo trip. Remember those Instagram models we met? That was Joe's money. She probably cried about not affording vacation while I was doing body shots. Joyce gasped. Eugene's face turned purple. Should I keep going? I have 16 more. Vaughn stood up. Those are fake. He edited them. Really? I pulled out a manila folder. Because I also have bank records showing your company's been profitable for 3 years. Your mortgage documents showing you own your house outright. And my personal favorite, your social media posts from luxury resorts while you were supposedly struggling. I passed copies around the table. Celia was staring at Vaughn like she'd never seen him before. You said we couldn't afford dance classes for Emma. Baby, I can explain. You son of a... Eugene stood up, fists clenched. You've been stealing from my daughter? Dad, it wasn't stealing. Like hell it wasn't. Jolene finally spoke, her voice tiny. How long? I pulled out Donnie's notebook. Yes, he'd kept Vaughn's actual notebook. According to this, 7 years, total of $186,000, not counting my inheritance. She ran to the bathroom. We could all hear her throwing up. Vaughn tried to leave, but Eugene blocked him. You're paying every cent back. I don't have. Sell the truck, sell the toys, sell everything. The kids were crying. Celia was packing up their stuff, telling Vaughn not to follow her. Joyce was having some kind of breakdown, wailing about how could you do this to your sister. But the best part? Vaughn's oldest kid, Aiden, 16, stood up. Is that why you made us lie to Aunt Jo about being poor? Is that why you told us to act sad when she visited? The room went even quieter. You made your kids lie? Eugene looked ready to commit murder. Vaughn just stood there, caught. No more lies to tell. Final update. The aftermath was swift and brutal. Jolene found out the full extent of Vaughn's con. He'd been taking money from her since before we got married. Every emergency was fake. Every crisis was manufactured. He'd even lied about his wife having cancer 2 years ago. Got $20 for treatment. Celia filed for divorce the Monday after Thanksgiving. Turns out, she thought all the money was from his business. She had no idea he was scamming Jolene. She's getting everything in the divorce, and Vaughn's not fighting it because she threatened to press charges for fraud. Eugene and Joyce disowned him. Joyce needed therapy after realizing she'd enabled this for years, always pushing Jolene to help her brother. Eugene tried to pay me back the inheritance, but I told him to put it in a trust for Vaughn's kids instead. They didn't deserve to suffer for their father's actions. As for Jolene and me, she moved back to her parents' house the day after Thanksgiving. The divorce papers were filed last Tuesday. She didn't fight anything. I kept the house, the cars, everything. She was too broken to care. She sent me one long text yesterday. I know you'll never forgive me, and I don't deserve it. I gave away your grandmother's last gift to you. I chose my brother over my husband. I called you selfish for wanting to keep your money. I was so convinced family meant everything that I forgot you were my family too. The primary family I chose when I married you. Vaughn played me for a fool, but I let him. I saw the signs and ignored them because I wanted to be the good sister. The loyal sister. The one who saved everyone. I lost everything that mattered for someone who saw me as an ATM. I'm so sorry, Reed. I know it doesn't matter now, but I'm so sorry. I replied, I know. Take care of yourself, Jolene. And that was it. 7 years of marriage, gone because she thought family helps family meant letting her brother rob us blind. Vaughn, he's living in his car, can't afford an apartment because his accounts were frozen for the divorce. His business partners dropped him after everything came out. Last I heard, he was begging Donnie to take him back. Donnie laughed and hung up. He tried calling me once, left a voicemail. You destroyed my life over money. Hope you're happy. I didn't respond, but yeah, unhappy. Not happy my marriage ended, but happy the truth came out. Happy those kids won't grow up thinking scamming family is normal. Happy Jolene finally sees who her brother really is, even if it cost us everything. My grandmother always said, when people show you who they are, believe them. Vaughn showed us, Jolene showed me, And at that Thanksgiving dinner, I showed them all exactly who I am too. Someone who won't be played for a fool, even by family. The inheritance? I got $78,000 with back. Vaughn had already blown through $7,000 on his new truck down payment. The truck that got repossessed last week. Karma's brutal sometimes. P.S. To everyone saying I should have worked it out with Jolene. She gave away $85,000 without asking me. She let her brother steal from us for 7 years. She chose him over me every single time. Some things you can't come back from. P.P.S. Donnie sent me a new voicemail. Vaughn left him last night. He was drunk, crying about losing everything. It was supposed to be easy money, he kept saying. She was supposed to never find out. Still taking zero responsibility. Some people never learn. Edit. Stop asking for the voicemails. I'm not posting them. The transcripts were enough. Edit 2. Yes, the divorce is real. No, we're not getting back together. Yes, I'm in therapy. This whole thing messed me up more than I admitted in the posts. Edit 3. Jolene's parents sent me a Christmas card with a $5,000 check. The note said, "For being the son we wish we'd had." I sent it back with my own note. Use it for Jolene's therapy. She needs it more than I need the money. Eugene called me crying after that. First time I'd ever heard him cry.